Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sabrina and today we have a pretty unique Ninja Creami recipe for you. So I've been making Ninja Creamis for a long time and I've kind of gone through some of the traditional flavors and now I'm really getting into some of the frozen yogurt recipes, and I had some of this delicious cantaloupe. It's summertime right now and you know I've got all the summer fruits going, and so I'm putting together a cantaloupe frozen yogurt Ninja Creami, and it's going to have 250 calories and 30 grams of protein. I know it might sound a little bit weird, but it's a great way to use up any leftover fruit, and that subtle hint of the cantaloupe, it's really good, trust me. So let's go ahead and get started with the recipe. But before we do, if you enjoy this video, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so with all of my recipes, I like to keep them as simple as possible, and I also make just enough for one because I don't really like to share my Ninja Creamis that much. This one is going to have that nice tart flavor of the yogurt, the subtle sweetness of the cantaloupe. Anyway, I am waxing on. Let's get into the recipe. We're going to start with half of a cup of your milk of choice. I like to use this one. It is reduced fat, ultra filtered milk. Basically, it's Fairlife milk, but this is the kind that you get at Aldi now. They've replaced their Fairlife with this one. And what's great about this is that it's lower in sugar and higher in protein. So it's great for this recipe, but don't panic if you have another type of milk. It's going to work just fine. This one's just going to get you the exact macros that I have. Okay, so I have my half a cup of milk in there. If you like to measure everything like me, that's 120 mils. I'm now going to be adding half a scoop of protein powder. I suggest vanilla because I'm not creative enough to know what else will go with cantaloupe. Maybe like a very mild or a honey flavored protein powder if those exist, but I think vanilla is going to do just fine. So 15 grams is going to be half a scoop. That's perfect. And my favorite protein powder is the PE Science. This is the Gourmet Vanilla. I think it tastes delicious. So for this frozen yogurt, you're obviously going to need some yogurt. My favorite is Faye. I don't happen to have that today, but it still works great with whatever plain non-fat Greek yogurt you want to use. So I'm using the one from Aldi today, and I'm going to be using 150 grams, which is a little bit closer to about half a cup. You can use a little bit more if you like. If you have one of those smaller cups, that's going to work great. Okay, great. That looks perfect. Next up, I'm going to add my cantaloupe. So I have 100 grams of cantaloupe here, which is about 2/3 of a cup. Now, I know you might be wondering, sometimes I use really specific measurements. Why do I do that? Well, I really like my creamy to come out to a nice even number when it comes to macros. So I tend to tweak some of the ingredients a little bit to get that. So I wanted a pint for 250 calories and 30 grams of protein. And so it's 2/3 of a cup of cantaloupe for me. But if you're not too worried about that, then feel free to add a cup or however much you have. It's really not that big of a deal. But since I'm letting you guys know the macros, I want to make sure I'm precise in case you're looking for a similar profile. All right, we've added everything to this. Now I'm just going to blend it up. It's literally going to take 2 seconds. Before I do, there is one sort of secret ingredient. You might know this trick already, but instead of adding sweetener, you can actually add a little bit of sea salt to fruits, especially cantaloupe and watermelon, and it makes them a little bit sweeter. So I'm going to add a little bit of sea salt. I just get this one from Trader Joe's. You might have a nice sophisticated one. But yeah, I'm just going to scoop a little bit out into my palm here. So maybe half a teaspoon max, probably more like 1/4 of a teaspoon. And that's just going to bring out some of the sweetness. And that's it. You really don't have to blend it for very long. And then you can go ahead and get it into your creamy container. So you can see that filled up our pint rather nicely. It's pretty much to the brim here, but this is a great flavor if you're looking for something a little bit different, especially if you like frozen yogurt, especially if you're looking for something refreshing and just want kind of a fun way to get 30 grams of protein and maybe use up some of the summer fruit you have on hand. This one is a little bit of a dark horse. So we are all done. I'm just going to go ahead, pop this into the freezer, and I will see you back here in 24 hours. Okay, so we are back. It is 24 hours later, and a couple tips before you spin is I leave my pint out for 5 to 10 minutes just to let it defrost a little bit, and then you can run it under some hot water as well, and that's just gonna make it faster when you're spinning. So let's get it in here, turn your machine on, and then we're just gonna choose light ice cream. All right, so we've just done one respin. I expect it to be pretty powdery. What I like to do here is use my little spatula, get around the edges, make sure it's all incorporated, and I'll also add just a little bit of liquid, and that's gonna help make it a little bit creamier and just get through all the spinning really quickly. Yep, so this is kind of what I'm expecting here. Pretty powdery, but it's well on its way. It's actually looking pretty good. Gonna add a little bit of almond milk. So we're gonna go ahead and do one respin, and I think that's gonna do it. Okay, we just did our spin, and that texture is looking really nice. You can tell because when I sort of smooth it with my spoon, just looks perfect. So cantaloupe frozen yogurt is pretty niche, I would say. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it is really refreshing. And for 250 calories and 30 grams of protein for this tub, I think that is pretty darn great. So it's a little bit of a unique recipe, but it's got great macros and is a wonderful way to use up any leftover cantaloupe you have. Let me go ahead and put this in my bowl and show it to you all nice and pretty. Okay, so here it is, a giant bowl of really refreshing, a little bit subtle cantaloupe frozen yogurt. I guarantee you're not going to find this at your froyo shop, especially for 250 calories and 30 grams of protein. So hope you enjoy this recipe. I'll do some more conventional fruit ones as well, but I thought this was a fun one to try. All right, I'll see you in the next video.